Welcome back to another live field. Travis Street Channel is getting to Game 5 of the 1991 Minnesota Twins and the Braves World Series. This is on Thursday, October 24th, 1991 at Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. Let's get into it. When Chili Davis came to the Minnesota Twins, he was told to put away his glove. His days was patrolling the outfield, which he had done with some flair early in his career with the San Francisco Giants, once leading the National League in assists, but now behind him. At 31, Davis didn't run like he used to, and the switch hitter was assigned to be the team's designated hitter for the season, playing 150 games at DH, making only 2 appearances in the field. But back on September 29th, the same day after the New York Mets fired manager Bud Harrison, the 8th manager to be canned so far that year, the Twins found out they had clinched the American League West title while heading to the airport in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Hours earlier, Minnesota had lost 2-1 to Toronto, the team they would soon defeat in the League Championship Series. When they received word that Seattle had down second place Chicago, the Twins were officially division champions, the first team in Major League history to go from last place to first place. The team buses pulled over on Queen Elizabeth Way between Toronto and the Hamilton Airport, and the players briefly congratulated each other. The next day, as the team finished its road trip in Chicago, Davis told manager Tom Kelly that he was open to playing some outfield in preparation of the team advance to the World Series. I knew the National League parts from my days with the Giants. I told him, "We got a week now with nothing on the line. Let me play the outfield and get some games at that point position again." Remember him looking at me saying, "Nah, we don't need you. You're our DH. That's it." A few weeks later, as the World Series began, Clay was asked whether he was attempting to put Davis in the field with designated hitter unavailable for the games in Atlanta. "I wouldn't do that in a tie or post game because of defensive liability." Yeah, after the second consecutive close loss to the Twins in Atlanta, Kelly decided to roll the dice. Davis remembered that he and Kirby Puckett were walking out of the Business Clubhouse after 3-2 defeat Game 4 when Kelly shouted out, "Get your rest." Davis told him, asked, "You talking to Puck, right?" Kelly said, "No, you number 44, because you're in there tomorrow. You're starting right field." So that off way, hand way, it became official. Davis would play head back in the Twins lineup in defensive alignment. Before Game 5 got underway, Davis tried to make light of the situation, saying he was back in the field because Kelly got sick and tired of seeing me on a bench. Asked about his troublesome back, Davis replied, "We don't know this, but 3 years ago I had surgery to move my whole back. Now there's nothing left." Decades later, though, Davis admitted he didn't get much sleep the night before Game 5. His guy told him to work me into the outfield at the end of the season, and now he was going to pick me up, stick me out there in Game 5 of the World Series. Until that point in that season, about the only time I touched the outfield was during band practice, shagging flies. Game 5 stars was Kevin Tapani and Tom Glavine, who were sharp early. The contest remained scoreless in the bottom of the 4th inning. That's when Tapani fell behind Ron Gant, who laced a 2-0 fastball into left field for a single. They was just fouled by poking the Tapani fastball the opposite way, where it hit off the top of the fence onto the seats for a home run. Zip Green walked and Greg Olson singled. Mark Linkley continued to be the man of the hour, lofting the fly ball deep to right field out in Davis' direction. So they was trailing 4-0. The Twin Stars didn't return for the bottom of the 5th inning. In 1991, what was going on away from the field sometimes superseded the action between the lines. Teams scrambled to fill out their roster in large part because few football players remained with the franchise for the entirety of their careers. When the growing era of free agency, big money usually trumped any sense of team or civic loyalty, especially when even bookies were afforded high-powered counsel. In this new era, Scott Boras soon became the most powerful sports agent in baseball, one of the most powerful individuals in sports. In 1983 to 1991, 25 of his clients were chosen The first round of baseball's amateur draft. Most going in the top 10 for soaring contracts and signing bonuses. Skip around a little bit. Skip around a little bit. Bottom of the fifth of Game 5. Braves tacked on another run against Terry Leach, the Twins reliever, a dream reliever who had senior salary rise from $190,000 to $500,000 in recent seasons. So they were 5-0 in Game 5. With one out, the Braves left-hander walked, struck out block. Hooky was taken away. Walked Chili Davis. Then Brian Halper with one run already crossed. Glavine walked Scott Leas, and Minnesota was back in it. The Atlanta Ace was out of the ball game. 6 innings, Glavine faced 6 batters walking for them. Although Kent Mercker did a quality job and relief, the Twins had cut the lead to 5-3 by the time the dust settled. Then for the Braves, Twins pitching soon followed suit. David West had thrown well in the American League Championship Series. Came to the game in the 7th and proceeded to 1-up Glavine. He allowed 2 hits and pair walks without getting anyone out. From there, the game dissolved into a laugher. The only lopsided game of this epic series was that the Braves scored 6 runs in an inning, taking an 11-3 lead. By the time Steve Rosen replaced David West in the bottom of the 7th inning, Game 5 had turned to a laugher for the home team. The Braves put up 6 runs in the frame and then tacked on 3 more in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Twins' offense was still swinging for the fences, as Minnesota scored 5 runs over the last 4 innings, but with the bullpen unraveling fast, the Twins simply couldn't keep up on the scoreboard. West gave up 4 earned runs without recording an out. Bad Rosen last inning allowed 2 more earned runs. Carl Willis finished off the evening with 3 earned runs of his own and 1 inning of work. Some nights you just have to forget about it and try to turn the page. Nobody's listening so far. So this game wasn't that much of a classic. So I'm just skip around a little bit. The Braves had won 14-5. Right fielder David Justice had 5 runs batted in. Mark Lindsey right behind him with 3 RBIs and a pair of triples. This home run in the 7th inning, outfielder Mike Smith became only the 5th player and the first from the National League to drive 1 out of the park in consecutive games. Jordan Lou Garrett did in 1928, Johnny Mize 1953, Hank Bauer 1958, Reggie Jackson 1977. All the others were members of the New York Yankees when they accomplished the feat. "14 runs that the Atlanta Braves scored, so that's the most in the World Series game since the Yankees scored 16 runs in Game 2 of the 1960 World Series against the Pittsburgh Pirates. 2 triples in the Lincoln tied the game World Series record last accomplished by the Dodgers, Tommy Davis in 1963. More puzzling was that Lincoln had continued the grand transition of second baseman, stepping up in big games and big postseason play. Let's see if it's chapter done. Get into Game 6 tomorrow. Wow, surprised nobody checking in today. All right, talk to you real soon.